A play called Darker the Night, Brighter the Stars is now making its world premiere at Portland Stage Company. Portland Stage has gone out of its way in recent years to present plays that are new and that have a Maine connection.
Darker the Night, Brighter the Stars, which had a working title of Not Quite Almost, checks both those boxes. It was written by actor and playwright John Cariani, who has quite a history with Portland Stage Company, a story that just keeps getting better. This place, Portland Stage Company, this stage, those seats out there, they changed your life when you were a teenager, right?
16, yeah. When I was 16 years old, a junior in high school, my English class, they had us come to Portland Stage to see a production of The Cherry Orchard.
From Presque Isle? From
Presque Isle. So we got on a bus, I think, at 3 in the morning. Took the 6-hour trip, because it was 6 hours then, because the speed limit was 55. And we came down for a 10 o'clock matinee. We saw the play, participated in a talkback, had some lunch. I think we might have gone to the mall, and then we took a 6-hour bus ride home.
And your reaction was?
Seeing a professional production of a classic play, I just remember thinking, whatever it is they're doing, that's what I want to do.
And here we are, almost 4 decades later.
Oh my gosh, is it? It is. Wow, that was 1986, you're right.
And
that's a long time ago.
Having trouble wrapping your brain around that?
Yeah, that's a long time ago. Wow. That's a long time ago.
John Cariani pursued the dream that began that day and went on to make a life and a career in the theater.
When God gave us manna in the wilderness, that was a miracle too.
We first reported on him in 2005 when he was performing in Fiddler on the Roof on Broadway, a role for which he received a Tony nomination.
So this is where you sit down before the show, put on your own makeup, or does someone do it for you?
No makeup. It's
really?
winter. It's winter. We live in, a part of the world, Poland, Russia.
It's like people in Maine in February.
In Maine. Pale, no makeup. That's really lucky.
He had a recurring role on the TV show Law and Order.
What's on this?
3 tracks. Judging by the frequency of the expletives, I would categorize it as gangster rap. It's pretty good stuff.
And he wrote a play called Almost Maine. Since its world premiere at Portland Stage Company in 2004, Almost Maine has become one of the most frequently produced plays in the world, with about 6,000 productions, many of them in colleges or high schools. And now, Cariani has written a new play called Darker the Night, Brighter the Stars. It's not a sequel to Almost Maine, maybe more like a sibling. He specifically wrote this play for younger actors. The characters range in age from 16 to 24.
Before we sat down to do this interview, you had been working on the play, tweaking it, correct?
Yeah, that's why I was late. I was making some final edits because we go into tech rehearsals today, and I wanted to give a new script to everybody. And they're just little changes at this point.
I was going to say, how has the process gone? Has it been fairly smooth to get this play ready to send it out into the world?
No, it's never very smooth. I thought it was going to be smooth because I thought I was so ready because I've done so much work on this play over the past couple of years. Turns out we needed to do a lot of work.
That must be humbling. When you come here thinking, this play's good, this play's ready to go, and then you get under the hood and you say, oh.
Yeah, this play has a lot of problems, That was hard, not gonna lie.
You said this grew out of a series of shorter pieces. Is there sort of a unifying theme, a unifying story that you're telling here?
Yeah, this is northern Maine in summertime. It's nighttime, and all of the people in this play are at a crossroads, I guess. One person is heading off to serve in the military. What does that do to the relationship you have with someone you love? One is about what is it like when you go away to college, a really good college, and you're homesick for the place you thought you wanted to get away from? What is it like when your family might not like who you love, but you know they're not going to kick you out, but you know they're not going to love it? What is that like for a young person? So it's exploring I like to call it the gray area. It's not like super dramatic, but it's like those crazy gray areas that we all live in that get really complicated sometimes.
John Cariani has long been annoyed at the way people in rural America, especially those who work with their hands, tend to be dismissed, stereotyped, made fun of in movies and TV and theater.
This time, I kind of want to show people what it's like to be a kid in northern Maine. And a lot of these stories are inspired by my brother and his friends in particular, because they got themselves into a lot more scrapes than I did with growing up. They lived more than I did growing up. I was a rule follower. I did all my schoolwork. I wanted I wanted all the teachers to think I was a good kid. My brother didn't really care about that and had a lot of fun. And I love learning about the things that he and his friends did. And he and his friends are still so close. I just think that's just incredible.
The premise you've been working on so far is that the play is titled Not Quite Almost, but that is not definite that will be the actual title when the play begins.
Right, that was a working title that we used when we started working on the play, because I didn't have a title. I'm very slow with titles. But we now have a title, and the new title of the play is Darker the Night, Brighter the Stars.
Which I like. That's a good one.
I like it too.
All right.
It's also true.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how fun and how cool that we've been able to follow his journey this whole time.
And the amazing thing is that John Cariani has not changed one bit. He is the most humble, funny, delightful guy.
You can tell just by listening to him. It's awesome.
Darker the Night, Brighter the Stars is being presented at Portland Stage Company through May 4th.
As we mentioned, John Cariani is also a successful Broadway actor. He's going to tell us about his latest acting project, and it's like nothing you've heard of before later in this half hour.